Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where everything you're about to hear and see has been done in one take. I'm your host, the One Take Man. As of the time of this video's posting, it'll be less than a week until the European Championship, the UEFA European Championship starts. And with that occasion, basically every YouTuber who covers association football, be that regardless of whether or not they call it football or they call it soccer, though most call it football, um, are doing their own predictions regarding which team, which team either wins or which team, or what kind of runs each team would have. And even though this is not technically my specialty field, I thought I would, throw my proverbial hat in the ring as well. Uh, in order to, and this is not something that comes out of left field. This is not the first, this is not the first UEFA video I've ever done for this channel, even this year. But it is going to be a little bit special, so to speak. Hence why also I'm no longer at the, no longer on the top right. I'm in the bottom right, so you can. though admittedly that also comes a little bit from the layout of this website. I am on bein.com. So yeah, it might be spelled bean, but it's actually bein. And I thought I would show you my predictions for how I think the Euro 2024 is going to unfold. And I actually had to do plenty of prep to do so. I watched some recap videos of the various qualifications. Went back through the, looked at various stats regarding the qualifications myself. Analyzed the squads that the teams would be bringing forward, and additionally, I've looked into each individual team and saw whether or not they were, ascending in the rankings, descending in the rankings, and also their general form. So yeah, I did a lot of prep, but I have to say that most of that prep kind of, it wasn't particularly illuminating. As in, I don't really think there are questions I've had before the prep that were unanswered, and that were answered by the prep. Anyway, with that out of the way, it's time I started. Beginning here at Group A with Germany, Scotland, Hungary, and Switzerland. Germany, even though they were hosts, they kind of had a rough start because they were able to do a lot of friendlies because they didn't have to go for qualifiers, and a lot of those didn't really go well. And they actually had to sack their manager over it. However, the new guy who came in seems to have given them some pretty good results so far. And I have to say the squad itself also looks pretty strong, and I am willing to say it is actually stronger than than the rest of the teams here. So I don't pick. How do I flip these over? Let's see if refreshing does anything. Okay, I picked Germany to win. As for the winners group, as for second place, with all due respect to Scotland, I just don't see it. I think it's between these two, either Hungary or Switzerland. Switzerland finished second place within its group, whereas Hungary I think finished I don't necessarily recall if Hungary won its group. I'm gonna assume it didn't, but still, I think this is the main battle here. So with all due regret to Scotland, I don't think you're gonna qualify. As for who wins between these two, I think Switzerland takes it. I think they have the not necessarily stronger squad, but more balanced squad, and that will allow them to gain more more positive results than Hungary. Though I still think Hungary is gonna go quite far. Next up, we have the first group of death, also the Mediterranean group: Spain, Croatia, Italy, and Albania. Pretty much every single team here has the potential to go on a deep run. Even Albania, who actually won its qualification group. If Spain also won it barely, and it'll and I'm don't necessarily can't necessarily recall if Croatia won its, but I know Italy ended up on second place when its qualification group. Still, I'm gonna have to say the winner. I think Spain is going to be the winner. They have a, strong balanced squad, and a lot of the new gens are look quite capable in their own right. So for that reason, I think Spain uh, makes it through. Next up, again, sorry Albania, you're not, you're not making it. You have some. Your squad is not, your squad is not bad, but it's not impressive either. And therefore uh, between a World Cup silver medalist and the reigning European champion, I I think the reigning European champion has a stronger squad for now. So Italy's the runner up. Croatia is going to be the third place. Next up, Group C: Slovakia, Denmark, Serbia, England. Pretty much everyone gives England a hard time because they haven't really won anything, even though they're kind of stuck about how they invented football, and 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 I have to say their manager constantly gets critiqued for being too protective and not necessarily using the squad he has to its fullest advantage. That being said, he with every major tournament where he was involved, he was able to go. He was able to bring England on a pretty deep run, and also their squad is seriously among the best in the entire tournament. So, for my money, England is going to be the winner. With a runner-up, it's going to be a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit more interesting, because on the one hand, and honestly, I don't think Slovenia really has it. It's going to be between Denmark and Serbia. I think Serbia won at least once, but then again, that was under Yugoslavia, so a while back. Denmark also won it once, and it was also a while back, though admittedly a little bit more recent. As for their current squads, this is going to be risky, or perhaps excessively conservative, but I think Denmark is gonna be the runner-up, and Serbia takes third place. Yeah, sorry, Slovenia. Next up, we have the second group of death, with the Netherlands, France, Poland, and Austria. Austria has been very impressive recently. I think they actually won their qualification group, even though they were paired up against Belgium, and they actually even have some pretty good results against them in indirect fixtures. And Belgium still has golden generation and is still a top 10 nation. So the fact that Austria is able to do that, I really think speaks a lot about its ascendancy. Then again, France. If we're talking about ascendancy, France is not doesn't necessarily need to ascend anymore, but it is very much at its prime. When you look at all the ways in which it has balanced, I am quietly confident that France is capable of some amazing things, and even the biggest, even the victory by the largest margin in France's history was actually done by the current squad, or achieved, not done, achieved by the current squad. So I think France gets to be the winner. When it comes to who the runner-up in third place is going to be, I'm afraid Poland doesn't have it. So yeah, I think Poland's going to lose this. So the question is between Netherlands and Austria, who's going to win. The Netherlands, as far as I can tell, they have some peaks, but the squad overall is not necessarily bad, but not necessarily impressive either. And and I think Austria's record really shows that they have the potential to uh, counter teams like that. So for my money, Austria is in second place, Netherlands is in third. Moving on up, we have Group E: Ukraine, Slovakia, Belgium, and Romania. And as far as as far as I've been able to see in many predictions, everyone is kind of sleeping on Romania. That might just be me being being a little having a little bit of a provincial bias, given I'm Romanian myself. But I really think a lot of people are, but really, Romania deserves a little bit better than it, than it is really assessed, because they actually, they actually won their qualification group, and are one of 6 teams to, to have done so undefeated. Admittedly, their record isn't particularly impressive. It's mostly, it's most because there are 4 draws in there, 4 draws in 10 matches, and even all of the victories aren't really decisive, like 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. It's basically 1-0, 2-1, stuff like that. But still, I think they've done. I think they've done enough to showcase that they are to be reckoned with. Nevertheless, Belgium is still a top 10 nation. And it still has a, pretty strong squad, and while it is not as fearsome as it once was, I still think it is. I still think it is a tougher squad than anyone else here, and can still produce some good results. So for my money, they're going to be the winners. For the runner-up position, it's really going to be between Ukraine and Romania. Ukraine did have to go through a playoff, but then again, they also had the bad luck of a very bad group draw, because they were in the same group as the finalists of the last edition. And within that position, they actually fared quite admirably. And when it came to the playoff, they actually won. They won their matches quite decisively. Does that make them necessarily better than Romania? Not necessarily sure they are better in terms of their squad, but I think in terms of their form, they actually have quite a bit of potential, quite a bit of promise. Also, I do have to mention the war, and in that way, I think Ukraine's players are extra motivated to play, to showcase to showcase the strength of their nation in that sense. They have more of a killer mindset due to that. And while I am not particularly fond of doing so, I think that might be enough to edge them over Romania. So yeah, Ukraine is a runner-up, and Romania is third place. Next up, we've got Portugal, Czechia, Georgia, and Turkey. Georgia, unfortunately, I don't see them moving forward. Like, congrats on them for making it this far, but they are not making it any further. As for the rest of the group, Portugal is the clear winner. Like, they won every single match in their qualifier. So, and even though their squad is up there in years, their quality is still outstanding. So for that reason, they are. I'm quite certain they are going to win. Up next, between Czechia and Turkey. Turkey is kind of in a mess right now. I think Czechia has a more stable play style, and I think they're gonna edge Turkey out. So they're runners up. Turkey goes third place. And now behind my the part of the screen where you can see me, a button showed up where it says proceed to round of 16, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, choose the top 4. This is gonna be tricky. I think. So who would be the best third place? I think the best overall third place might not be Croatia, because they're in a tough group. Hungary is in an admittedly uh, lighter group, but I'm not necessarily sure their performance will be any better. Serbia, mm, maybe. Netherlands. Actually, I very much see Netherlands, being that best of the third place teams. Even though it's in a strong group, it actually has a lot of potential to impress. So I think, yeah, I think it'll be uh, it's the best here. Romania, yeah, Romania also makes it, and now between, and I don't necessarily see Turkey, making it. I might be very wrong, um, but I don't think they will. So next up we got Hungary, Croatia, and Serbia. I think Serbia has a lot of potential, especially when considering their group to actually do something very impressive, and also Hungary. So yeah, these are my picks. Next up, round of 16. Germany against Denmark, Switzerland against Italy, Spain against Romania, England against the Netherlands, Portugal against Hungary, Austria against Ukraine. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Belgium against Serbia, France against Czechia. Um, Germany, I have to say, has the better squad, has the better manager, has the home field advantage. So, so while I appreciate you, Denmark, you're not making it you're not making it past the round of 16. Germany goes ahead. Between Switzerland and Italy, Switzerland really only has, uh, two strong players, Xhaka and Shaqiri, and whereas Italy, I think, has a more well-rounded squad. So even though, even though the proximity to their home soil might be a little bit of an advantage for Switzerland, it's still going to be Italy who takes it. With Spain and Romania, yeah, I'm sorry, Spain takes it. Spain really has the best. Spain really has among the best, if not the actual best squad um, in this entire tournament. So I am, and they have great new gens. They have a good balance of experienced players. So yeah, they're making it past. England against the Netherlands. This is actually a very interesting matchup. It'll probably be, if it actually occurs, it would be the highlight of the round of 16. Um, but again, I have to go with I have to go with England. They have the you know they have the good defensive options, and they have a broader variety of attacking options as well. So I think they're taking it. Portugal and Hungary. I already said Portugal is in top form, and I think they're gonna make it through. Austria and Ukraine are in are a pretty interesting matchup as well, uh, because they are both up and coming teams, both of which have have something to prove, something they want to impress with. And overall, I think Austria, at least as of right now, I think has the stronger squad, so that'll get them over the edge. Belgium versus Serbia. Mm, Belgium wins. Belgium kind of has the potential of being upset eventually, but it's not going to be by Serbia. France versus Czechia. I already said France is France has probably one of the strongest squads it's had throughout its entire history. So I can quite confidently say that Czechia would not be too much of a struggle. Next up, the quarterfinals: Spain versus Germany, Portugal versus Austria, Belgium versus France, and England versus Italy. We have the final of last edition in the quarterfinals. This is gonna be a bloodbath. But first of all, the real bloodbath: Spain against Germany. This could very easily have been this could very easily be a final, because really both of these teams are uh, both of these teams have a lot of have plenty of strengths, and really the main difference comes from how well they would play together. And in that and when considering that, I think I think Spain has it. Like, yeah, a lot of Germany's players come from come from one team, but that one team has fallen off quite loudly in the last season. And even though a lot of people predict that uh, Germany is bound to go quite far, considering a German team was in the final for both the Champions League and the Europa League. Um, I still don't really see them moving past this particular Spanish team. So Spain is moving ahead. Next up, Portugal against Austria. Um, Controversial pick. I think Austria takes it. uh, I not to say that Portugal doesn't have a strong squad. It does, but I think Austria has the potential to surprise and impress. And if it happens at all, it'll definitely be within this match. Next up, Belgium versus France. Yeah, France takes it. Belgium is still a top 10 team, but they are definitely falling off. France is not necessarily is not in its ascendancy; it's in its prime. I, I think they have what it takes to win out. And now, last match, England versus Italy. Um, I think England's gonna take it. Not to say Italy is bad in any way, but I think England has a better set of options. Has a better set of options right now, and I think going through their history, they will have they'll be not necessarily going through its history, but going through their tournament so far. I think they will also have the necessary preparedness that dog in them in order to really in order to overcome Italy. Next up, semifinals: Spain versus Austria and France versus England. Perhaps unsurprising, I pick Spain over Austria and France over England. Austria, Austria may be able to pull an upset, but they're not making it to the final. I might be overestimating Spain's team just a little, but I am nevertheless confident they have what it takes to pull ahead and make the best possible impression. As for France and England, I already said they have a strong squad. They have balanced squads, and overall, I think France's team has not necessarily has a better record, and I think a better capability of moving ahead. For that reason, I think they're going to. I think they're going to make it into the final. And that final is going to be Spain versus France. And with this match, some people might think that I've really overestimated Spain in terms of how in terms of how I assess their effectiveness within this tournament. And I'm starting to think that that may be the case. That may be the case because while their squad is strong, they still had some hiccups moving forward. France hasn't. I have said it before. France is France is very much in its prime, and I am looking forward to hearing uh, some outstanding things about it in the in the near future. And for that reason, I pick France as the winner. I did another such prediction game, and when that happened, and when I did that, I picked Spain to be the winner. But now I think France has it. And yeah, I also have this option here to submit. I'll take a look at it in my in my own time. For now, I would like to say. Thank you very much for your attention. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed watching my predictions, well then please like the video, maybe even share it wherever you think other people will also like the video. If you have anything to add, either to my results or to the analysis I used to justify them, that's what the comment section is for, so you can tell me all about it. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, which, spoiler alert, is going to be very different from what is from what it is that you've seen, well then please subscribe, and ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. I also have a main channel where I talk about book-related and literature topics, a link to which you can find in the description down below, right past my social media links, which I also suggest you check out should you choose to. Additionally, you have the option of supporting me on Patreon, where depending on the level at which you pledge, you will receive various perks, the specifics of which I will allow you to discover for yourselves. And yeah, that was basically all I had to say. Until next time, I have been the One Take Man.